He was a name once whispered in reverence, now etched in betrayal. Benedict Arnold. A man whose story dances on the line between hero and traitor, between legend and shame. But what if we told you he was both? Born in 1741 in Norwich, Connecticut, Arnold was no stranger to struggle. His father, once a prosperous merchant, drank away their fortune. Young Benedict watched his family fall from grace, and in that fall, something took root. Pride, ambition, a burning hunger to be seen, to be more. As the colonies stirred with revolution, Arnold stepped forward, not for glory, not for gain, but for conviction. He was there when Fort Ticonderoga fell. He led men through the icy hell of Maine to Quebec, frostbitten and starving, never once backing down. His leg was shattered at Saratoga, but even then he rallied the line. Washington called him brave, soldiers called him fearless, and for a brief moment, the nation called him a hero. But heroes, you see, are still men, and men have pride. Arnold's victories were praised in whispers, his wounds left unacknowledged. Others climbed ranks while he was left behind. Congress doubted him, fellow officers resented him, and when they audited his accounts, his personal money spent on the war, they didn't thank him, they questioned him. In Philadelphia, he met Peggy Shippen, young, elegant, loyalist by blood. She came from a world that looked down on revolutionaries as rebels and fools. But she loved Arnold, or perhaps what Arnold could become. Through her, he found a path to the British, and through her, his descent began. It wasn't just money, it was recognition. Arnold offered West Point to the British, a fortress that controlled the Hudson, the very artery of the Revolution. For £20,000 and a British commission, he would give the enemy the key to America. He met with Major John Andre, a dashing British officer. They used invisible ink, secret codes, and moonlit rendezvous. But the plan unraveled. Andre was captured, letters discovered in his boot, and Arnold, warned just in time, fled. He ran. Not with honor, not with courage, but with panic. He boarded a British warship as his name echoed in rage across the colonies. In every square, they burned him in effigy. Benedict Arnold, once spoken with pride, became a curse. And what of his reward? The British gave him his rank, his money, but never their trust. They used him, and they kept him at arm's length. A man who betrays once may betray again. He fought for them, but his victories meant nothing. The war ended, America stood free, and Arnold stood alone. He spent his final years in London, racked with pain from old wounds, ignored by history and haunted by memory. He died in 1801, almost forgotten. They say he asked to be buried in the uniform of the Continental Army, the army he had once betrayed, as if in death he could return to the man he had been. And now, his name is carved in shame. But the story, oh, the story is more than that. It's not just about treason. It's about a man crushed by pride, betrayed by his own ambition, undone not by evil, but by longing. Dead men don't tell tales, but in the silence of empty halls, the rusted muskets, the fading letters, they whisper, and here we listen, one tale at a time.